Today you join myself and the team here at Parker Baits HQ, and we're going to go over, well, I'm going to go over behind me the factory side, the cooking process, the double dusting alongside Theo over there. So I'm really excited for that, but here's Tom and he's going to let you know what he's going over.
So I'm going to show you guys how we fulfill over 1,000 orders a week here at Parker Baits, talking you through our packing side of things where we process the orders, label the orders, pack the orders and ship them out to you guys.
But first, just before we do that, we're going to pop up to my good old Granddad, I call him Grumps. We're going to head up now and show you exactly what he's doing.
All right then, Grumps.
Here he is.
Hello.
Hi mate.
Hello there, Ben.
So, how are you getting on? Mini natural magic beads this morning?
Yes.
And a few hundred of them.
I think 400 to go.
400 to go. So you join me in my granddad's place at the moment. Now, the reason why I bring you up here is my granddad not only is my two best mates, and my granddad and my brother. Now, not only is my granddad a massive part of Parker Baits, he obviously gets involved very heavily with our stickering and also our potting up. So Kay's in the other room, and I know Tom will touch on that in a second. Now, as you can see, we've got this very technical machine in front of us, haven't we, Granny?
Oh,
very
no.
technical. And what it does is, when you put it in, it puts it on perfectly every time. Now, the reality is, here at Parker Baits, we're a small family-run business. I haven't got a multi-million-pound machine putting on stickers and slapping them on like this and they're going out the door. The true love and passion comes in via my granddad, because he is a fisherman as well. Kay here on site, and obviously my mum and dad and the team down there as well. So it's very interesting for you guys to sort of see this. Now, this is one of various things you do on a daily basis, Granddad. You do these, you do flat spot bottles,
Absolutely. Yeah.
sauce bottles,
Yeah. Everything.
absolutely everything. This is our OG fruit and nut sauces. Now, over behind us, I bring up Father Christmas sacks for Granddad, and he looks at me when I come in and he goes, yeah, cheers, mate.
My painted grin.
But there they are, that's how they come, and obviously they end up, and again, I'll show you the final product in a second. So, there's a little bit more of an insight of how it works here, but what I did want to do is like I mentioned, Granddad, if I'm honest with you, got me into carp fishing, into fishing, should we say. So I remember going out, didn't we used to go to Stoneham?
We did, mate. Lots, yeah.
Lots of it, frying off lunch and meat early stages,
Absolutely.
experimenting with bait, adding curry powder on, stinking
All
out the
sorts,
caravan, weren't we? We used to go down the Lions Gate.
That's it.
Very fond memories, and what gives me the love, the passion for this. Until that, you know, this 25 years on, Granddad's still here today helping me, and look how far Parker Baits has evolved over the last 3 years.
What a difference, eh? Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think when I first sort of come up, when at the early stage, I'd come up with sort of, I don't know, 100 bottles, and that'd be that for the week, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you mind doing this? You go, no problem, Ben, I'll get this sorted for you. And now it's more like 4 or 5 sacks, sometimes on a daily basis. But no, he does help me no end, and I'll be forever grateful for my granddad helping me.
Haven't we come a long way since mixing up our flour and water in the evening for the next day's fishing?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Long way.
It's funny you say that, because again, that's where the bait love come from as well. Because like I said, even at a young age, playing about with flowers, semolinas, different fish meals, and making our own boilies and bringing them and testing them, and going to Sainsbury's and buying different strawberry flavourings. At that time, it was like cake flavourings, but that's all that was there. And we done it, and we caught fish on it. And I think to a degree, from myself and Granddad's perspective, I think it made it even more enjoyable to a degree.
Yeah.
So there it is, a little bit more of an insight of what happens.
Ben would be outside the caravan and he'd see a chap opposite catch a fish. He said, hang on, Grandad, I'll be back in a minute. Over he'd go, chat to this mate, come back, armfuls of bait. I said, how do you get that? He said, well, I asked about what he was catching it all on and all that. And they said, here, Nipper, you go and try that. We used to experiment with that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Had bits and pieces to it. But
100%, but that's another one for me. I mean, when you use various different bait companies over there, you can pull and take little things, whether that's the fleck in the bait, the smell of it.
Yeah.
And then we've then obviously added that over the months, the years now of playing about with bait. I've been doing it now in excess of 20 years, to Parker Baits on a very formal, very professional basis, we like to feel here at Parker Baits. But there it is, like I said, it's always a pleasure to be out with Grandad. We don't get much time together anymore because I'm so busy with Parker Baits, and obviously Grandad's so busy putting stickers on the pots.
I've gone a bit off of carp fishing when I see them jump in the water and lift up this 50-pound fish
In
and then
Hungary.
say it's my personal best and they get showered with water.
Yeah.
Nah, I've gone back to
Not
the
your cup
course
of tea.
fishing.
So if you caught your PB now, then you wouldn't let me.
No, I wouldn't tell you.
I wouldn't tell you. No, Grandad, thanks very much. Like I said, I appreciate
it's a
everything you helped me
pleasure.
with. I really do. And
It's great to be still handy.
yeah, no,
You
it
know,
really is.
have a little job.
No, there it is. So that's my Grandad. That's where the passion and the love come from. Now, you're going to go into the kitchen, the very formal kitchen with my brother, and he's going to go over what Kay's doing in there.
So you join myself and Kate in the, let's call it the kitchen production unit. Now it is a lot cleaner, warmer, tidier than down in the factory. So to be fair, I can see why you're doing it up here. Now Kate's going to show you through and talk you through exactly how we put up our magic beans. It's really important to point out that we're not using multi-million-pound machinery, although we would like to one day. But we're keeping Kay in business and very busy, which we're much appreciated for. But yeah, Kay's going to talk you through now how we put up our natural magic beans.
Right. This little egg cup, which is exactly the right measure. A scoop of each colour. I usually stack them up here and then pop them on the scales. They should weigh 72 grams. That one's 74. Take a few out.
Take a couple of out.
Rather over than under.
Always, always.
Pop the lids on. Tray them up. It's quite enjoyable. I
Keeping
do
you busy,
enjoy it.
quite enjoyable.
This is the best bit because these are the minis. But the ones I have to count, I go to bed at night counting to 12
numbers.
or 16 in my head all the time.
20 to 23 of each colour. So you're getting a minimum of sort of 60 baits in there of the 12mm natural beans. There's loads of baits for your money. And that is our production system.
Here it is behind me, our first delivery of the day. Now, believe it or not, here at Parker Baits, we're getting these turn up. Some of these, 2 or 3 of these a day, do turn up at Parker Baits HQ. Now, not only do we make fresh bait, we need fresh ingredients to make that fresh bait. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out in a second. Hey, look at these lovely fish, by the way. Well, as you can see behind me, it's always madness here at Parker Baits HQ. Now, the first pallet coming off, you'll see behind me, is a ton of pellet. Now, here at Parker Baits, we sell loads of it. Now, we sell a 4, 6 and 8 in fruit and nut and a 4, 6 and 8 in a fish, but again, we'll touch on that later on today in the video. But also, we've got eggs in there. Now, we've got 5,000 eggs that have been delivered, which is at the back of this lorry. We normally have a 5,000 delivered at the beginning of the week and around 5,000 delivered at the end of the week to keep them eggs as fresh as humanly possible. Fresh eggs are going in our ingredients, like I said, or in our boilies, and again, I'll show you that later on today. Happy bloomin' days. So we use Class A eggs here at Parker Baits. Now, believe it or not, there's 27 different elements of calcium in one eggshell. Now, as a family, as a bait company, it's imperative we put them eggshells in our bait. Now, again, I'll show you in a bit. I use a Nimbus 2000 Egg Smasher 500 and it blitzes everything, puts it into small little bits. Now, you guys watching this, if you ever had an egg and cress sandwich and you get that one tiny little bit of eggshell and you bite into your sandwich, you can feel it. Now, what I'm trying to put across is, if 9 eggs are putting over a kilo, they're blitzed up. It's very crunchy, which is very stimulating. Now, going back to the calcium, 27 different elements of calcium, it promotes skeleton growth in a human, hence why bodybuilders will blitz up an egg in their protein shake. Now, it's a little bit similar with the boilies. It promotes skeleton growth within carp as well. So you can have the biggest fish in the world, but if its skeleton isn't strong, then what's the point? So there it is, a little bit more of an insight, the reasons why we put the eggshell in, and a bit of a background behind the calcium levels within. Thanks, mate. Cheers, bud. Absolutely beautiful. Now, the lorry's just leaving. Now, the reason why I bring up that and show you the eggs is that we're not using seconds here at Parker Baits. It's not sort of a second-hand egg or eggs with imperfectionism. The eggshell's broken where the chickens peck the egg. We use, like I said, Class A eggs, therefore these are for human consumption. You would see these, you could put them in a sponge cake or whatever it is you're making. But lovely fresh eggs, actually eat them myself in the evening, I'm not gonna lie. But there they are, sexy little eggies.
Hi guys and girls, I'm Theo from Parker Baits. Many of you might have seen my face before, but many of you might not. So for those of you who haven't, I'm going to bring you on my journey today on the cooking side, talk all about the machines, the process behind the magic, and how we make such a perfect bait. Firstly of all, we should probably best talk about our ingredients a little bit and our mixes. As you all know, our base mixes are made fresh in-house. And as you can see, you've got loads and loads of different ingredients in there. The red one's Robin Red, you've got your brown one, your LT94, you've got bits of CLO in there, little bits of Niger seed content. But that's enough of the ingredient side of things. You've got our fresh eggs here, which are whisked every single day, absolutely fresh. And you can see in there, you've got all the flavourings involved as well, so absolutely lovely that is. And we mix these two together in our extruder. And this is our new extruder. This thing is a beast of a machine. Compared to our old machine, I didn't know how much better this would be, but this fires out bait like no tomorrow. So I'll move over to that, and you can join me over there, and I'll talk through how our machines work. So here we are, my best friend, the new extruder. And I tell you what, this thing really can push some bait through. So at the minute, we're doing fish, OG fish, and we're doing it in a freezer bait. But as you probably are aware here at Parker Baits, we only do two lines of bait. We do an OG fish and an OG fruit and nut. Now OG fish has a lot of fine ingredients in, very small particles, things like that, like the blood plasma. It is literally a dust. So the mixes flow absolutely smooth as through this machine. Whereas the fruit and nut has got a few more sort of bulky ingredients. You've got your CLO, you've got your tiger nut meal. Those ingredients are a bit more coarse. Now, when you're using a more coarse ingredient, what actually happens is that slows the mix down. So you're trying to push something that's more coarse through the hole. And what's happening is those bigger particles take a little bit longer. So fruit and nut and fish takes different amount of times to roll. They both need different amount of moistures. This is something that we've really had to perfect over the last few years. And every time we get a new machine, we have to perfect that again, because with these machines, as they get bigger, as we produce more, we sell more, we've got to keep that mix going through, but we've got to keep that consistency there. So constant playing around, different times of the year, different moisture levels in the air, all mean different things. So with this machine at the minute, you can see we've got it running about half speed at the minute, just whilst we do this video, but later on I'll show you it at full speed. So as it comes through, what happens is this is actually a giant corkscrew in the bottom. And what that corkscrew does is as it spins, it pushes the mix out, and then it comes through our nozzles. Now nozzles, when we first started, as some of you may know, if you're rolling baits at home on a table, you have a nozzle, you have a set size. When that sausage comes out, you put it down, you give it a roll, and you end up with a ball. Now, depending on the moisture levels, depending on the mix, fruit and nut and fish have two different nozzle sizes. Yes, we're still providing you with that 14mm bait, but they are actually different nozzle sizes to combat the ingredients and the moisture levels. Now also, depending on the time of year, that can change as well. In the summer, it's a lot drier. In the winter, it's a lot more moisture in the air. So we have to combat that by changing the nozzles, and sometimes that can be daily. So it's not just as easy as just come in, turn it on, chuck a mix in and watch it run. It's not that easy. We do have to have a lot of playing about every single day to provide you with the best quality bait that we can provide. And also on that note, as this extruder's working, it's also heating up. Now I'm touching this now and I can feel the warmth through that. So that means when the mix is in there wet and it's coming through, it's actually drying out as it comes along before it's passed out, which is another part of the process into helping getting those balls nice and tight and nice and round. I'm going to give these their first stage dusting, and then I'm going to pass you over to Ben, who's on the second stage dusting side.
Oh, sorry about that. Got a bit carried away there. So you join me on the other side of the cooking side here at Parker Baits HQ. Now behind me is our steamer. Now let me briefly touch on that. It's something we've touched on previous vlogs. Steaming helps lock in that nutritional value as opposed to boiling a bait. It's very similar to if any of you have made baits at home, whether that be pop-ups, boilies, you put them in your frying pan or your saucepan, you boil them and the water smells better than the bait itself, quite frankly. With a steam, you help lock in that and the water doesn't ingress as much. Naturally it does, and it is going to taint the bait to a degree, but the percentage is chalk and cheese in regards to a boil. So that's the steaming. Moving on to our dusting. Like I mentioned, This is one thing I feel that makes us stand out from the rest. So Theo's dusted them over there to our left, even before, when they've dropped off that roller, even before they've went in that steamer like I just mentioned. So now they go in this steamer, when they come out this steamer, they get dusted again. So you're making a bait that's great on steroids, quite frankly. That's probably the best way of putting it across. So there it is, a very brief insight on how the steaming works, the reason why we double dust, and just how good our product really is as a family we're producing. And I'll finish it off with that. There it is. I like to call it a sexy little Dorito ball of goodness. You know when you eat your cheesy Doritos, you get it all over your hands like this. It's the same with our baits. So there it is, OG fish, 18 mils, and another week of 18 mils complete. My God, it's busy here.
Right, so now you join me over on the packing side. So what I'm going to do now is run you through a couple of orders, run you through the process of the packing side, how we do it, what we do here on a daily basis. So obviously a lot of you will already know me, but I'm here and I sort of take over from the packing side, a lot of the logistics. I work really closely with Tom with all the orders. So any issues you ever have, anything you ever want to know, when you ring the landline, you're more than likely to get myself. Emails go between me and Tom, so we sort of run this side, whereas you've got Theo on the other side. So I'll run you through sort of the day-to-day. Tom's already printed out the labels this morning. We tend to break it up, so obviously as we've expanded, as we've grown, we've sort of gone from a couple of little packing tables to we've now actually got 4 stations around the room. So this is the big cheese one, this one's mine. You got Mrs. P's usually in the corner there, but Mike's stepping in. And then we've got Ben's table and one of the boys we've had a couple of lads over the summer. Isaac and Finn have been a massive help as well this summer when it's been absolutely flat out day in, day out. They've actually gone and started college and university now, but they will be about every now and again. Right, so obviously we can't go through personal details for data protection, but what I can go through on this label is every label will have an order number. So it makes it a lot easier for me to pull up the order numbers on here. Hashtag 28137. Everyone, nice and fast down here. So I've got a Jack Bark on here, so I know that's the correct order. And then, without showing any of his details, what I'll do is I will get this order packed. So, having a little look through what we got. So we got a fish sauce and a fish bait spray. So as these are going out, and as many of you will be aware, some parcels like to have a little game of 5-a-side. So we do everything we possibly can to make sure you get your products in the same way they leave us. So any liquids will be sealed in a bag if they're going in a box. And then the joy of using iPads now from when we were on paper and computer is I can grab the iPad and go around the room, which stops me coming backwards and forwards to look for every different item each time. Right, so that's the full order. All I've done now is what I'll do is I'll flip that through, make sure everything's checked. I then scroll down to the comment sections, just because when you place your order, you can leave a comment. So if something's been changed or if you've had a phone call, rang us up, and I've ordered the wrong hook baits, I've ordered the wrong boilies, we will mark that in our staff comment. So whoever is packing that order can pick that up, see that, so we make sure we get everything out and everything correct. I'm very particular in how I like to pack, so I like to get everything out. It all goes in its positions, and now I can look at it. We've got a vast array of boxes, a vast array of packing, and it's trying to work out what goes together nice, neat in a box and what size box you want. So I use a 20 kg box for this just because of the bigger items, and then we get it out nice and neat, nice, secure, nice and packed. So we have a variety of packaging here. So some stuff we buy brand new in-house. A lot of stuff we recycle where we can. So you've got our egg boxes at the top. We've got recycled boxes from a third party that we work very closely with, like I say, and then we've got our buckets. You'll see a lot of people out with the white buckets. We try and recycle as much as we possibly can. Not only is it good for the planet, but it also helps bring down costs of deliveries and parcels. Not only saving us money, but saving yourselves money as and where we can. As you can see, they call me the wizard of the tape gun world, but that is that done. So to make it easy for myself and to make sure everything's nice, tight and secure, because it's got particle and a bucket in this one, I'll always lace the bottom of the bucket there with a spare. Again, recycling egg packets. We were spending thousands on the brown tape and bubble wrap, and it comes free with the boxes, and I tell you what, it's so much stronger, it takes so much more of an impact. We've had so many less damaged actual parcels and products since using that over actual bubble wrap and things. So that goes in, that will go in the side there, and then I'll bulk out the rest of the box with the boilies, making sure that pellet doesn't move, and nor does the particle. Straight in liquids, I like to always tend to put in the corners. Again, I'll bulk that out and around, and then a couple of hook baits in on top. We've got a little bit of space in here, but first of all, the leaflets go in. So we don't like to bombard you with loads of wasteful leaflets. We've kept it very small, very decisive on who we work with. So as you'll know, our friends, very close friends of ours over at Swim Booker. This is obviously a booking app for lakes up and down the country. We work very close to them, and you get a discount code as well. So make sure when you're booking, you head on over. Even if you're not booking, just go and have a look what they have to offer. They don't just do late bookings, but they do their swim book membership clubs. The amount of information they have on lakes, videos, everything, go and check them out. Then obviously one of our business cards that we had designed and made, you've got all your information on the back there, all our social medias, our phone number, anything you need. And then Carp Tech UK, as you'll see, we work very closely with these guys. Again, great family friends, two brilliant geezers that we just hit it off on the word go with. They are actually opened up a shop as well now, and we'll be going over this afternoon, myself and Tom. They have got one monster of an order. We've actually gone from 1 metre to 3 metres in their shop. So again, get on over, have a little look what they have to offer. I'm sure they do. There was like a 50 kg bundle the other day, 80p a ticket or something like that. Nearly 400 quid's worth of bait at a chance of 80p. So go and check out what they're doing. So that's in, as you can see on the top there, we still have a little bit of space. So what we'll do there, just to make sure nothing cuts out, normally I would cut this box down onto the line and fold it in, but because you've got the particle at the top, it doesn't allow me to do that. So again, might have to put the last kilo in and all. Okay. Straight in on top, nice and secure. Now I know when they're packing these in the back of lorries and vans, they stack. No matter what you say, no matter what you put on, they like to chuck stuff on top. So always make sure when we're packing the boxes, they're full to the brim. That just helps support if anything else does go on top. So that is that done. Label on, Jack. So this is actually Jack Bark from the Norwich area. So when you're watching this back, Jack, that's yours done. So if it is freezer bait, we'll stick one of our fresh good yellow stickers on it. If not, straight on like that. And just in case, like I say, it gets wet or cool, so the label don't get lost. So now that order's packed, back on the system, order notes, stick my name in, just so if there ever is an issue or something not right, we know I've packed it and I can remember what's going on. That will then go up. It's now going to move from posted applies to postage complete. So that will now complete from our side of things, remove it from our system into completed. It will then alert DHL that that parcel is now ready to be collected, and it will also then allow DHL to email the customer saying their parcel is being collected today and out for delivery. Once DHL come tonight, they'll scan the barcode on here, and that will update Jack that their delivery has been picked up and with a delay that it's coming to them. So that is how we do the packing.
So we've got a few monster shop orders to top up on today, and that did mean we need to top up on our mini mix. Now, in front of me here, we've got our mini mix. There's 5 different pellets. A lot of companies would just use the cheaper pellets, which are the black ones. Now we've gone for 5 different pellets, which means 5 different breakdowns. We've got a red one, we've got a cream coloured one, and black, and a brown. So 2 of the pellets in front of me, most of the carp in the UK grew up on this pellet. So it's really important we had to include these in our mix because it's almost a natural food source. So we've got the brown pellets, got the red pellets like I just mentioned, but the main thing is it's perfect for solid bags, and the colour variation in there is absolutely brilliant. Most of the companies in the UK will just use black pellets, 2mm black pellets, but we've decided to go for 5 different sizes, 5 different colours, and we sell hundreds of kilos of this every single week. 5 different pellets, 5 different breakdowns, and they're all in excess of 30% protein. But if you are a gym head, then I wouldn't recommend eating these for breakfast.
And just a quick one from me. These little bad boys are magic beans. That has been doing me bites and actually done me a 30-pounder last night. But if you've not got mini mix in your armoury, clearly you're doing something wrong. Behind me is our new bagging machine. Now, prior to this, we were using like a cooking scales. You put your bait in, it would be just under, just over. And what I'm trying to put across is it took a very long time. This has saved us probably 50%, which do things double as fast. So it's a pro weight machine. What happens is, so you put the bag underneath like so, and I'll show you this now. So Neil's putting the bag underneath, it puts in exactly, or just over a kilo of boilie, puts it back up, and there you go. Easy as that. And what a machine it is. Yeah, been a game changer, full stop. Let's touch on a few other bits. As we evolve as a business, we needed to sort of refine what we were doing just on the outside. We are on a working farm. Now, the main issue that we were getting is my dad was saying, obviously, at the end of the day, when we clean up, we clean out all the machine, them 17 different spices rolled down there, and they ended up in the goats. Now, my dad was saying, Ben, I don't want curried goat on the premises. I said, yep, sorry, Dad. What can we do to rectify this? So we've come up with our new drainage system. Again, another investment here at Parker Baits, but as we evolve, we need to make sure we keep everything clean, tidy, and consistent. You've heard me use that word a hell of a lot over the duration of this video. So there it is, the sexy drainage system all the way around. So now we can push it in, and there's obviously a pit at the end. The pit will then get dropped every month. All the slurry, offcuts of baits that's got caught in the machine, it will go in that cesspit and we'll get rid of it. So next up was access. Now, we had a real problem and it was slowing us down as Parker Baits, as a family, as a team. We had to walk around the whole of the unit to come back to get the particle, top up on plastics, whether that be new cardboard, because we've run out of boxes because so many orders have gone out. What was the next feasible way of making things quicker? Well, here it is. You join me in our new knocked out wall. That again was done by the same gentleman. Massive shout out to Jeremy, good family friend of ours. We've knocked out this wall. Therefore, it's now easier to walk through this section to get straight to the back to access more boilies, more pellets, more plastics, boxes, and obviously our particle as well. So if you join me down here, I'll get down carefully, put these lovely steps in as well. So you join me in this little unit. And here it is. This is somewhere where we keep our boilies that have been cooked fresh that week, our flavours that we use on a daily basis, obviously our pellet. If I slowly move you over here, you've got our new Parker Baits buckets. Now at the Parker Baits store, you can obviously fill these up with your pellet of your choice, but don't they look carpy, eh?
So you join me now in our particle room. Now, I've got a smile on my face because this is exciting, this is new for us and something we've never done before. We can now offer our customers shelf life particle jars. Now, I've got these 3 jars in front of me and we're gonna do something really exciting. Now, I want everyone on this video to comment down below what they want to see on the next factory vlog, because everyone that comments is going to be entered into a giveaway to win these 3 jars in front of me. So keep it clean, but comment down below what you want to see in the next vlog, but just don't ask my brother to get into a mankini, because that's certainly not something I want to see. So on the subject of my brother, he's down by the lake and he's going to talk you through our new particle range.
So my brother Tom has just went over the particle and dropped me in it, and I'm going to go over in a little bit more depth what's in our particle and why it's so great. Now I'm going to kick it off with all of our particle. Although it's a shelf life product, this is made fresh on a weekly basis. Therefore, it's not been sat on the shelf for months and months and months, and you're the poor sod that walks into that shop and you get it off the shelf and it's already been 3-4 months old even before you've even seen it, let alone how long it's been sat in that shop. No, not at all, not our particle. This goes out on a weekly basis, then we go again. Therefore, yes, it is a shelf life particle, but it is fresh. Now I'm going to kick it off with the Nosser nuts. Now it's one of my favourites, and they're called Nosser nuts for a reason, because these things are absolute nossers. They're massive. Now if anybody is new to the channel and you're probably thinking, Ben, what the hell do you mean by nosser? Well, nosser pig, rhinocer pig is what we say here at Parker Baits as a family, as a team. As a community, we call our big fish rhinocer pigs or nosser pigs. So there it is, tiger nuts on their own in a natural preservative, like I said, cooked fresh, are Nosser nuts. So next up is chili hemp, and it's also one of my favourites and probably one of my go-tos if I'm honest. Hemp, every carp loves it, and then when you start adding things like our own unique chili blend to it, which is the same blend that actually goes in our boilies, if you didn't know. You've got a match made in heaven. I add it to my boilie when I'm fishing big beds of it, just a little sprinkle of it over the top, and it seems to be doing me bites at the moment. So that is our chili hemp. A little warning to you as well. Do not get this stuff near your eyes, and that goes the same with our baits itself. If you can, wear gloves when you're applying it to the water, or whatever you're doing, making your PVA bags, crush it up in your hands if you haven't bought chops. I strongly advise not to touch your eyes straight after, or any other places on your body. Let's just leave it at that. Warning. So we've got our Mutts nuts, which again is another favourite of mine. Unique blend of the different particles and obviously some nuts in there, hence the Mutts nuts. Moving on from that, we have got our sexy spod mix. Well, it's in the name really. It's pretty sexy. Down from that, we've also got our hemp and maize. Hemp and maize, we're not trying to recreate the wheel here. Hemp and maize is great in any scenario, hence why that needed to be in the mix. Moving on from that is our BHM, which is buckwheat, hemp and maize, a simple particle and works everywhere. Next up is Carp Tech, and we've mentioned already in this video they are dear partners. Now this is a very unique blend with some very high-end ingredients in there when it comes to particle, a bit of everything if you like, but the only one place you can get this is on the Carp Tech website. But on that note, they've just opened up a shop. Now we're going to touch on that in a second. Right, well, finishing it off with the Carp Tech shop, and that's also known as Robbo's Tackle Shop in the Dagenham area in Essex. Now, they have got a whole pallet going to, and believe it or not, this isn't finished yet, because we're going to finish it off over the duration of the day. As you can see, you've got Theo in the background, Tom's over there, Mike's over there, Ian's over there, and we're all still working. It's gone 5 o'clock. Now, let me touch on just a couple of the key points that's going to be in this flagship shop. That's right, it's our flagship shop because it's got the biggest setup that we've ever had or had in a shop. So let me touch on what's going in there. Over 100 kilo of our boilies being sent on this delivery. We've got in excess of 300 pots of our hook baits, a full selection of our pellets. As well as that, we've obviously got a full Parker Baits particle section. Now, being that this is our flagship shop, we've obviously got Parker's particle and also our full range that we sell anyway. It's all there in the shop so you guys can take full advantage of it. Now, I think this is probably the perfect opportunity to call it there. Another factory vlog uploaded to the Parker Baits YouTube channel. Now, don't forget, on this particular video, like I've mentioned, you can win yourself, or like my brother's mentioned, you can win yourself some particle by getting in the comments down below. What would you like to see in our factory vlogs going forward? If that's Theo in a bikini, Theo in a mankini, he's smiling behind me, or Tom in a mankini, please get in the comments down below. I hope you like this video, guys. I really, truly have. If you have, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, give us a subscribe down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.